This is a podcast about our lived experience, which unfortunately includes infant death and subsequent mental health struggles. Please take good care of yourself and only listen if this content feels safe for you right now. We'll still be here when you're ready.
Hi, I'm Judith.
And I'm Alina. We both lost babies to SIDS in winter 2021.
In the throes of grief, I reached out to a stranger on the internet and our friendship was born.
In the years since, we've been working hard to survive, rebuild, and navigate the continual challenges that have come our way, including divorce,
Job loss,
dating while bereaved,
moving multiple times,
health scares,
pregnancy and parenting a living child,
starting new jobs, and so much more.
We are tired.
Happily ever after is out of the question for us, but this podcast documents our journeys to happier ever after because we believe life after loss is worth living.
So join us as we laugh, cry until we laugh.
Welcome to As Long As I'm Living podcast.
We're so glad you're here.
So I've been living, now we're in nowadays, we're in recent times.
It's July. I don't remember when we recorded the remainder of this episode. I don't remember when that was. Do you remember?
Some time ago. Well, let's see, it's July. And I feel like we need to kind of address the fact that we haven't recorded in a while. And I think part of the reason we haven't recorded in a while is partly on me and partly on you.
Yeah. This is the third. Today is Monday. Wait, what day is today? No, it's Tuesday. Oh my God. That also explains it, is that I don't know what day it is. And I'm usually the one who puts the episodes up, and I don't even know what day it is. But this is the third week in a row that we haven't released an episode, and I didn't even tell people. Like, normally, like, if we're not releasing an episode, I'll like put something on the stories. I didn't even know today was Tuesday. I thought today was Monday. Whatever. It's been a while, but
Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to talk about it from your side?
Well,
I feel like the reason that we haven't recorded is because you've been so overwhelmed.
I have definitely been. I think it's both of us. I think we've both been overwhelmed.
Okay, fine. I'm not putting blame. I'm just saying that my hours are like a little more consistent, and your hours are you're dealing with up all night, just not feeling well. The baby's like struggling. Like, I think that your life has been exhausting. Truthfully, like, it sounds exhausting.
My life has been
a blur,
and I'm so sorry, you guys. There isn't a live baby in the background of this episode. I can't. And in order to get this episode recorded, there isn't a live baby in the background.
I feel like it's been hard over there, from my understanding.
It has been hard, but it's been like good hard.
Good. Okay, say more.
It's been good hard. I have an alive baby. She's making a crap ton of noise in the background. I have an alive baby. She's alive. She outgrew Quinn. She's 4 months.
So let's talk about that, because that was a couple weeks ago. That was a week ago.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm going to hold her and see if maybe that will make her stop making so much noise. Hold on. All right. We're back.
Okay, let's give an update. Where are you? What's going on? What's been happening? Where have you been? And I'm happy to give an update too, but just tell me where you are.
Well, since the last time that we have recorded, my daughter crossed over Quinn, in that she is now older than he ever was. So she survived 3 months, 27 days. It was a big deal.
What was that experience like for you?
The lead up to it was absolutely brutal. It was so horrific. Absolutely horrific. So grief inducing.
In what way?
I would say it was less trauma inducing. It was more grief inducing. I was very, very, very acutely aware of like I was giving her a bath, and I was like, is this going to be her last bath? I was like seeing her cute little baby fingerprints on my mirror and thinking to myself, like, oh my God, am I going to have to like wipe these up after she dies or not? Like, and leave them because she'll be dead. Like, and she just like uses a lot of Quinn's things. And I was just like looking at her using them and being like, oh my God, like at some point he used this and then he stopped using it. And like, I don't know. She was just like roughly his size and roughly his development. It was like very, very, very grief triggering. Again, not super trauma triggering, but I think that's because I'm so far out that I've like done a lot of work on the trauma things. Now, this is all like, 2 weeks before that day, like it really started to kick into high gear. And then a couple days before she was set to outgrow him, she was admitted to the hospital for the details are unimportant, but it was something minor and she was fine. But there was a potential that there was something a little bit more serious and she was going to need surgery. She didn't, though. She was totally fine. But we had a kind of surprise admission to the ER.
Do you think you would have gone to the ER if it hadn't been so close to Quinn's death anniversary? Or you feel like you were on edge to begin with?
So, excellent question. I think that it was unrelated to the fact that we were that close, but I think had I not had a child who died, I don't think we would have jumped to going to the ER. That said, we brought my daughter to the pediatrician first, and the pediatrician, knowing all of our stuff, looked at her and was like, I would be taking her to the ER if I were you. So I think, but again, that's like her knowing where we were in our timeline and like all of this stuff. And so I think it was basically like 6 very acute hours of her being very sick, followed by her being like almost immediately fine with no intervention is basically what happened. But like, she was very sick.
I felt mostly relieved because I was like, oh, she'll be in the hospital. Like,
me too.
Being this close to the crossover date, it's like, this is a great idea. Have her hooked up to the machines. She's already there.
Exactly.
Like, to me, I was like, oh, great. This is a good idea.
Yeah. And I genuinely feel like that experience of going to the hospital that close to the date, I feel like it was like the universe designed an experience for me that allowed me to work through some of my trauma. Like, I had a baby who was basically the exact same age, who had a sickness that was treatable, that I was aware of, that I was able to like see that she was sick. I was able to take her to the doctor. I was able to get her treatment, and I was able to bring her home, and she was fine. Like, I got to basically live through like all the things I wish I could have done with Quinn, but I didn't because he died so suddenly. So like, I knew she was sick. I took her in, like it just all, I feel like I got to work through things. Like, if you'd asked me after Quinn died, like, what would you have rather? Obviously, I would have rather he didn't die, but I would have wanted an opportunity to advocate for him. I would have wanted to know there was something wrong. And this was a case where we knew there was something wrong. I was able to go to the doctor and advocate for her. And then she came home alive. And so I think that day, like the ER trip, really felt like the crossover day, even though it was actually a couple days before the crossover day.
That's what it felt like. It was like you were losing your mind. You were a wreck until the trip to the ER, and then you were all of a sudden better.
Yes. I was like, oh, she lived. She had her medical incident at 3 months and 23 days or whatever, and she lived. It was interesting though, because despite the fact that this was like a totally run of the mill, she basically was like throwing up like a disgusting amount. And there was like a question of whether she had like some kind of a digestive thing that would need surgery, blah, 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 whatever. All that to say, it was completely unrelated to SIDS, could not have been less related to SIDS. However, the ER doctors, my husband was like, just so you know, like her big brother died of SIDS at 3 months and 27 days old. And she is 3 months and 23 days old. And every single provider we told that to immediately like went sheet white. I think everyone was feeling like a little bit superstitious about like what happened, understandably, us included. And so she definitely got like, very quality intervention. Like, I don't know that she needed fluids, but she got fluids. Like, I don't know that she needed to get rushed back, but she got rushed back.
Just were double, triple checking. They were just being extra careful.
Which is great, as they should.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, all that to say, she lived. It was really hard. I wish we had recorded live during that, but like, I just like didn't have it in me. We could not get our shit together to record. We haven't been able to get our shit together to record for a long time. And some of that is because I have an alive baby. Some of that is because, we have dead babies and we're well and not well. And then also you've had some stuff going on.
Yeah, I've really been exhausted.
So, and also let me just say, like, I think that, when my schedule is regular, like I'm the one who like uploads the episodes and like makes sure that they're there. And so if I'm out to lunch, like the podcast, even if we're recording, the podcast is not happening. So, and I've been out to lunch.
100%, Alina. The podcast does not exist without you. My phone is too dead to do that.
Yes, so true. But even that, we haven't even recorded because each of us we've just been like riding different waves of different oceans, and like it's been really hard.
It's been really hard.
Okay, we're going to stop this episode there. This was an update on what's been going on with me, Alina, and my alive baby daughter. Judith has some updates as well. We're going to share those with you next week in a second life update episode. I know I said this in the episode, but having an alive baby has really been exhausting and challenging. And just as an example of that, it is July 27th, the night before this episode is coming out. And even though we recorded the audio for this episode on July 8th, I'm just now recording this part. So it took me 3 weeks almost to record what is probably going to wind up being 10 seconds of audio at the end of this clip. So if you've been wondering why we haven't had that many episodes recently, bam, there you go. That's why. But we are trying to get back into it. We were able to record some on our grief retreat. So hopefully we will have a series of episodes in a row coming up. We'll call it a season, whatever, what have you. And stay tuned next week for a Judith life update. There's a lot to share there. Bye.
To all of our wonderful new friends, we want to hear from you. Email us at aslongasimlivingpodcast@gmail.com and follow us on Instagram at aslongasimlivingpodcast. We'll get back to you as soon as our grieving brains allow.
Yay!